Welcome to Greek Verse a Day. Today we are finishing up Revelation 1:20 with the second half of it. Before we jump in, I just want to give you the reminder that in the first half of Revelation 1:20, John began with what we called an accusative of reference, and then he mentioned the seven stars. And actually, it's not John that mentioned them. It is the one that John saw in the middle of the seven lampstands mentioned these things. And so he mentioned the seven stars which were in his hand, and he also mentioned he said the mystery of the seven stars, and also the seven golden lampstands. So that was sort of raised in the first half of Revelation 1:20, and John is then going to explain in the second half of Revelation 1:20 what the seven stars are and what the seven golden lampstands are. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a slow reading, a faster reading, give you just a moment to pause and make what you can of the verse before I jump in with translation and some commentary. So let's start with our slow reading. Hoi, hepta, asteres, angeloi, ton, hepta, ekklesion, asin, kai, hi, lukniai, hi, hepta, ekklesiai, asin. So one more time, a little bit faster. Hoi, hepta, asteres, angeloi, ton, hepta, ekklesion, asin, kai, hi, lukniai, hi, hepta, ekklesiai, asin. I told you previously that hepta is one of John's favorite words. So let's see what you can make of these various heptas and the verse as a whole, the second half of the verse as a whole here. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. We notice right away that we have a nominative noun here with hoi, hepta, asteres, angeloi. So we have the seven, well actually this first nominative phrase is going to go together. So what we need to do in this verse, because we have so many different nominative nouns here, we need to sort of parcel out which ones go with what. So here we have hoi going with asteros and hepta being an adjective that tells us more information about the stars. So the seven stars, and then we have another nominative phrase that is modified with a genitive following it. Angeloi, so angels of ton, so of the seven churches. And then so we have two nominatives sort of butting right up against one another, which in English, we don't like to do that. We like to have, one of these is going to be a subject, one is going to be a predicate. And we really like to have a verb in between those two things. We don't like to have a subject and a predicate right on top of each other. But because in Greek, word order is flexible, it can sort of put the nominatives wherever the heck it wants to. And that's what's happening here with the to be verb asin. So asin is going to be the sort of equal signs between these two nominatives that is connecting them. This one as subject, these seven stars asin are, so we want to stick that to be verb, that are in the middle of the subject and the predicate in English, are angels over the seven churches. And presumably we probably in English want the seven angels. We want to make that definite. We want to put a the in front of it. And presumably the reason that John has not put a definite article in front of this angeloi is he wants to make it clear that the seven stars, grammatically speaking, are the subject and angeloi are the predicate. So to be able to make it very clear that this is the subject of the verb asin and this is the predicate, one has the article and the other does not. And we're actually going to see that repeated in the structure down here. So the seven stars are the angels of the seven churches, or if we want to be a little bit more flexible with our genitive here, we could say that they are the angels over the seven churches. And then Chi, so whenever we see a Chi, we can often expect a sort of or we can sometimes expect a repeated grammatical structure to what we just saw. And we're going to get that here with hi Leucnii, hi Hepta. So what we have in this case is a predicate, not a predicate, excuse me, an attributive adjective. So we've seen John use hepta many, many times as we've been translating through Revelation here. And we normally see him use it not sort of standing on its own, but standing right in front of the noun that it's modifying. In this case, he does things a little bit differently. This is still an attributive adjective insofar as it has the definite article before it. So we're going to translate it in English as the 7 lampstands. But literally in Greek, it's the lampstands, the 7 ones. But as long as we have the article before the adjective, it's an attributive adjective, and we're going to put it into English as the adjective noun. So the 7 lampstands. And then once again, we have another nominative phrase that is once again, that is indefinite. There's no article before it here. And the asin is sort of serving as the equal sign, that this is going to be the subject and this is going to be the predicate. So, and the 7 lampstands are 7 churches. And once again, in English, we probably want the 7 churches. The use of the definite article in Greek doesn't always sort of match up to what we expect in English. So to sort of smooth things out, and because we know it's 7 particular churches that John is going to write to as Revelation progresses, we're going to want to stick in the there. So let's go ahead and put this all back together. The 7 stars, asin, are angels over the 7 churches. And the 7 lampstands are, asin, 7 churches. So what we have here is these, in the symbolism of Revelation, is that the stars are the angels themselves and the lampstands are the churches themselves.